Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. I don't know if you know that I started a new Facebook page, but it's for little kids, like little toddlers and pre-K and kindergarten age kids, maybe even first grade. What I'm doing is I'm reading aloud books, and the reason why I'm doing that is because so many of you know I have grandchildren that are way far away from me. They live like so far away I'd have to fly several planes to get there, and with this craziness going on right now, I'm staying home, but I wanted to stay connected with them by reading them stories. I love reading aloud. You know, I used to be an elementary school teacher, but anyway. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how I made this guy right here that's called Pete the Cat, because that's the next book I'm going to read for Layla and Levi. So I'm going to make them this Pete the Cat, and I'm going to make some extra buttons. At first I thought I would make it so they could Velcro onto here, but I would really have to make this a stiffer thing and maybe even put run it through the vinyl machine. I can't think of what it's called right this second, but you know what I mean though. Shoot, I can't remember. Anyway, I made these extra buttons, so they might just play with these and count or sequence or something, or who knows what. Maybe hide them from each other. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to show you how I did this. So let me move this Pete the Cat off after I group him. And you'll notice over here I have two things that I've brought in. This was from a place called Mom Junction. Let's see if we can read it more carefully down here. Yeah, momjunction.com. You can go there and there's tons of coloring pages. You'll love it. But that's where I got the outline that I used for Pete the Cat. And then this was just from the book because I wanted to try to get the colors correct. So all I did was this in Silhouette, because you know I use that for my Cricut or my Cameo. This time I just used my Cameo though. Except for I used my Cricut large map because I don't have one for my Cameo. But anyway, so the first thing I had to do when I got this was to trace it. So I came over here to the trace tool, which looks like a butterfly or a piece of toast. Select the trace area, and I just trace this like this. Now notice I am getting some junk in here that I don't want to get in here. So let's see if I can get rid of a little bit of it. Alright, so I got some of this text right here which I don't want. I'm going to up the threshold just a tiny little bit to make sure I have nice lines. But I'm going to say trace and detach. I guess originally what I did was I colored no, I'm just going to trace it, sorry, because he's a black and white image. I'm just going to trace it. Okay, I can move this piece out of the way, and now this is what we have here. Let's zoom in and look at it. So you can see there's some things here that I don't want, the text. So I'm going to double click to get the nodes, hold down my shift key, and I'm going to drag a box around these. See how that's selecting those nodes? I'm going to hit delete on my keyboard, hold down my shift key again and grab these nodes and delete. So I'm good to go right like that. The next thing that I always do when I'm making something like this is I go ahead and make the background a color I'm probably not going to use in the cat. So I'm going to make that a light color, maybe a light color like that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here to Object, Release the Compound Path. What that is going to allow me to do is color the different parts of this, because right now it's still all hooked together and I can't color things separately. So I'm going to click on him, come up here to Object, Release the Compound Path. Notice that put boxes around everything, so now I'm able to color everything separately. So I think that I'll color the yellow of his jacket first. So I'm going to click on this one, hold down my shift key, and get all the other pieces while I'm holding down my shift key that are supposed to be the yellow. And I will come up here to the color swatch area and just change it to yellow. Then I'm going to go ahead and grab all the pieces that are his face color. Click here, hold down the shift, get the other ones, and come up here and get this color. So I'm going to get the eyedropper and get this color that I used. Very good. Okay, let's see. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab his nose right here, the inner part of his nose, and I'm going to change that to white because it looks like it's white there. Okay. And I'm going to change the white parts of his eyes to white. Hold down my shift to get both. Change that to white. And hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. I'm going a little faster than I usually do. Grab this black and change that to black. And then change the eye color to that kind of brownish color. So I'm holding down my shift when I grab both, then coming up here to the color swatch. If I want to grab that exact color, I come over to the eyedropper and click right there, and it changes it perfectly. All right, it's looking pretty good. Now what I'm going to do is notice the outline on him is all black. So I'm going to go ahead and change this. Change the outermost thing, the whole thing, grab it all so it's all selected. Notice it was that blue color that I made originally. I'm going to change that to black. And that gets most everything the black color that I wanted, except for his eyes and around his mouth. So let's see, how can we fix those? I'm going to take the outside of his nose. Notice I have the outside selected. If you look up here, you see the color that's selected. If I accidentally did this and thought I had it selected, look up here right now, the color I've selected is white. It's not what I want. So I'm going to undo that. Now I have the one I wanted. I'm going to hold down my shift key, grab the blue part of his face, come over here to the modify panel and say subtract. And that subtracted that right out. Going to do the same thing with the eye. I've selected the eye. I know I have the blue part. Come over here, hold down the shift, click and subtract. Perfect. And again, I'll clap the eye. I've got to shift, click, and subtract. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Don't know if this was supposed to be another color right here, but I'm going to leave this just as it is. So let's scroll back out because he's pretty much ready to go, other than I need to make some buttons for him. So to make the buttons, all I did was came over here, made a circle, made it as large as I thought I wanted it for his button. It's a little larger than before, but that's okay. Then I went and zoomed in, and I came over here and got another circle. Hold down my shift key, and that allows me to make a perfect circle. So I'll move that here, and I'll hold down my Alt key because that allows me to duplicate it easily. While I'm still holding down my Alt key, I can make more duplicates. Okay. So I'm going to move this one out of the way. I'm going to group these together. I can right click and say group, or I can Control G for the word group. Either one will work. Control G. I'm going to change these color to black. I'll probably have to move. Nope, I don't. Thought I'd have to move that to the back, but I don't. All right, let's scroll back out for a sec. So let's see what colors we really need these to be. You can see them all over here, but I'll use my example here. That's what I had done originally. So I'm going to take this guy right here, and actually what I think I'll do is I'll just duplicate this 4 times. 2, whoopsie daisy. I've got to group these first. Control G to group. Hold down my Alt and drag 1, 2, there we go, 4 of them. So this first one now, I'm going to change to this color right here. So I'm going to hold down my Alt key and get this and this. But what I probably should have done before I did that was to ungroup this, okay? So I'm going to ungroup it, because all I want to change the color of is not the black dots, but the bluish color. And if I have trouble grabbing it, which I am, I can just drag this out, click on this, come up here to this color, get the eyedropper, and click on this. And now it's that exact color. And now I have one of them made like this. Now I can group all this together. And if I want to make more, because I want to make a slew of them like I have over here, I could. But I'll just make one for now and put this down here. Okay, I'm going to make the second button now. Ungroup. All I want is this. I'm going to change its color. use the eyedropper to this bluish, and then just put it right back under there and group. Then I can move this one down on his jacket. Take this next one, ungroup it, drag this off, change the color of the button, get the eyedropper and get the green. Put this back under here, group, move it down. And the last one will be this one, which will be the red button, ungroup, change the color of this. I don't like that. I grabbed the wrong area. Okay, there we go, much better. Group. Put that down there. There's all his 4 buttons. His 4 groovy buttons, if you know the story. If you don't, check out my other page. I'm going to read it for little kids as well. All right, so now he's ready to go. I'm going to group all of this together. And depending on what size of cardstock you have, you might not be able to do him in one whole piece. So you could use your knife tool to split him apart. I've shown that in other videos that I have, how to split these apart. But I happen to have cardstock that's 11 by 17. So I can make him about 17 inches tall, except he's going to be a print then cut. So I'm going to have to come way over here to the page setup panel and turn on my registration marks. Right now they're off. I'll turn them on. So now I need to make sure that he's going to be within this area here. So I can make him a little taller. See if he fits. Yep, he's fitting. So I can make him that large. So what I did was I left him like this. I came up here to File, Print, and I have the large paper selected, so I would say Print, and up my I would up my preferences so that it was best or high for the quality. But I've already done this. I'm not going to do that again. But I would go then to send him after he's been printed. Now notice we don't want him to cut like this. Everything's cutting out. See all those red lines? So what you need to do is just highlight him and come over here and say cut edge. And then all it's going to do is cut the outer edge. And that's perfect, exactly what we want. So after that's done, what I'll do is I will just go ahead and come back here again, turn off my registration marks because I don't need them. And then all I'm going to do is send him without printing him first, because what I want is a solid white piece just for a backing for him to make him a little bit more sturdy. And then I would just say cut edge again, and it would cut another one. I don't need to worry about mirroring it since it's just white, because I can put it any way I want it. But if I was making him double-sided, I would want to mirror the other side of this. And I would just go to send. So now I'm going to have you come down to my table so I can show you what I do next. Okay, what I'm going to show you now is how I put him together so he's more sturdy like this one, the Winnie the Pooh, and how I put the base in there. So what you need is a glue gun, and I have both of my pieces of my cat, right? The totally white one and this one, and I'm going to have these go together, but I'm going to have them go together using my glue gun, like I said, and popsicle sticks or tongue depressors that you can get at Hobby Lobby or anywhere like that. So I'm just trying to see where I want him to stand. So I'm just going to start by putting some of these sticks where I think I will want them, because I want these give him stability. They make it so he's very stable and he's not going to be all wiggly and fall apart. He'll stand up nicely and it'll be really sweet. All right, so that's probably plenty of those. This stick is the dowel that I'll have inside, and that goes into the little wooden base, as I had shown you on Winnie the Pooh. Okay. What I do to cut those dowel rods that I just buy is, these are garden shears, I think. Fisker's garden shears. I just use these, and it's just easy to clamp and cut it apart. So my glue gun is warming up. Hopefully it's warmed up enough. I think the first thing that I'll actually put in is, I think I'll put this piece in first. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about right here. So I'm going to go ahead and use my glue gun and put this in first. Just going to leave a few inches out like that. Okay, glue that right like that. Then I think I'll just start up here at the top and start putting some glue like this. And I like to try to keep it in a little bit from the total edge because I don't like the sticks to show if I can help it. I love this glue gun that I have. I think I do have it linked below. Tammy actually got this one from me as a present. Wasn't that sweet? But I love it because it holds so much glue and it has a really nice stand for it. The glue sticks that go in it are quite large, and if you do a lot of this, what I'm doing right here, you run through your glue pretty quick. Matter of fact, I probably won't get done with this without adding some new glue into this because it wasn't totally full. I may get lucky though. And this, I think I'll probably just break a piece in half a bit to give them something up there. And a little bit down here if this will fit. Okay, oopsie. Alright, so I got all of those glued on there with the one glue stick, but I'm going to show you. Look how big these glue sticks are. It's really good. I love this thing. Best Prezi. Alright, so now I'm ready to stick this guy on. And it's a good thing I paid attention and made sure it was going the right way before I started. So I'll just start again by coming up here to the top. And I just do a little bit at a time. Try not to burn my fingers. And then I like to stand up when I'm doing this so I don't mess up. Get these lined up really nicely. You don't get much of a do-over when you're doing this, so you gotta be careful. Okay, now I'll just start working my way down. Once you get them started, it's pretty easy then. And like I said, he'd have been really cute if I had, I remember the word finally, laminated him so that I could have easily had the kids be able to put the buttons on him and take them off like the story goes. If you read the story along with me with your kids, you'll know what I'm talking about. As I said, my grandchildren live really far away. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to put this in the mail to them somehow. I have quite a few things I'm going to be sending, so maybe I'll put everything in a large box. So that is that. So basically he's done. I mean, I know some of you probably would like to jazz him up a little bit and add a little bit of bling. Let me get this out and use this block just for now so you can see that this, now this is just going to be a single-sided one, so it would be one, whoopsie, that would probably fit up on a shelf or something like that, sit up on a shelf. But isn't he cute? Can you see him at all? I'll take a picture of him and put him at the end of the video so you can see him. So I hope you like this. Again, you know, if you have a child in your house or you know a kid that might like to watch some stories being read, send them over to my new Facebook page, and we can tell them to, if they're able, to put their name in the comment section, just their first name, and I'll be sure to give them a shout out sometimes. So again, thanks so much for joining me. See y'all again soon. Bye.